train in Avignon, south of France. If you haven't caught my last video, essentially when we finished our Italy-Croatia Europe trip, we took a flight from Dubrovnik to Marseille, south of France, and right now we're in Avignon. We're on a train, we're heading towards the train station to go pick up a rental car, and then we're gonna go see some beautiful lavender fields, so let's go. So after picking up our car, we wanted to do a little coffee break, and so we just randomly chose a coffee spot on our way towards the lavender fields, and we ended up in this really beautiful little town called Sorgue, and it's so cute. It's a little town, but it's filled with people, and it's so nice. Rental place, and when we finished up all the contracts, the serviceman was like, okay, I'm gonna go outside, get your car. We're waiting outside, and we're waiting outside for him to drive by with our car, right? And we just see a Mercedes-Benz pull up, and we're like, what the shit, that's our car? Mercedes-Benz, it's actually crazy. The worst part is we didn't even pay that much. We paid the lowest entry fee for an automatic car in Europe. I think so, usually in Europe, especially in France, people drive only manual cars. So I think the reason why we ended up with a Mercedes-Benz is because no one drives automatics, and we're just weird Americans Canadians coming into Europe wanting to drive automatics, so all they had was Mercedes-Benz, which is awesome. I don't mind. I'm driving a sick-ass car, which is cool. So another funny thing about French people, for some reason, is that they love their circles. You literally have a roundabout every 50 meters. Like, I'm not even joking. Just look at this. Roundabout. To our first lavender fields. They're super beautiful. Right now it's around mid-June, so the lavender fields just started to bloom. So we were really hoping that we would see some, and it's crazy that they're here. So super hyped. The funny thing about sightseeing lavender fields is that you actually get your own car, and there really isn't any specific spots to go to. You sort of just have to drive around, and whenever you see something, you just stop. And that's literally what we did for this place. We were literally driving around singing random Quebec songs, and until we saw this on the side, and we just parked on the street. So let's go find some other lavender fields. So one of the most beautiful things about south of France is just you're driving around aimlessly, and then you just happen to encounter the most beautiful hidden gems in the world, like this place. Absolutely breathtaking. Just gorgeous. Gorgeous. Unique. Nothing like this I've ever seen before. I'm in absolute shock right now at how and this one just tripped. I'm in absolute shock right now at how undescribably just I have no words. It's just, I mean, look at this. Come on. Oh man. Can't wait to see what other things south of France has in store for us. So we made it to the Abbaye de Saint-Anc, and this place is actually one of the most touristy and most popular places to see lavender. Unfortunately, we came here around mid-June, so most of the lavender is not in bloom, and so this is the most purple it'll get here, unfortunately. The rest of the fields are all still green. So we just made it to Valençol, which is probably the most photo aesthetic place for lavender fields. This place is covered with lavender fields from left to right. However, since we are in the early blooming season, not all the fields have bloomed completely, and they're just starting to bloom, which is why you'll see here that most of the lavenders are still very green, and you only have purple on the tips because they just started blooming, which is really unfortunate. I can only imagine what this place looks like. I mean, look at this. The whole place is covered with lavender fields from left to right, and I can only imagine what this place would look like when everything is purple. So if you are coming to southern France to see the lavender fields, make sure to come late June or early July. That's going to be your best bet to see beautiful fields. Unfortunately, time constraints can allow me to do it. However, it's still breathtaking, and we're going to go take some photos right now. So as you might have noticed, we're not necessarily in the same climate anymore. That's because we're not. We're not in Avignon anymore. We are now in the beautiful blue coast city of Nice, Cote d'Azur. This is like the Florida of France, literally. Ooh. What's that? So we're not gonna go swim just yet. We're gonna go hike to Castle Hill, or Collet du Château in French. But first, we gotta do some tourist stuff and go take a picture at the iconic Isle of Nice. Tourist picture taken, check. So we just came out of the water, a little swim. The water was 10 on 10. The color is 10 on 10. The beauty of the beach is 10 on 10. The weather is 10 on 10. But what isn't 10 on 10 here?
It's 20 on 10. It's the rocky beach.
The sand here gets a big old 20 on 10. Dude, there's literally no sand here. It's so painful. And the worst part is, you think that when you get into the water that they'd start to, have some sand and less rocks. But no, the rocks only get bigger and bigger. And with the tides and with these massive waves, they only send catapults of rocks at you, and it hurts the hell out of my feet and my legs. That's the only complaint. Otherwise, amazing beach, 10 on 10. All jokes aside though, this is an amazing beach, and if you're ever thinking of coming here, which you should, definitely get some water shoes. I think those are what they're called, just to enjoy your walk on the beach. Here's a question for you. On average, how many ice creams or gelatos have we had over the course
Every day?
of... No, but like on average, over the course of our whole Europe trip, like including Italy, Croatia, and France, like every day, how many times have we had ice cream slash?
Twice per day. So like 30 gelatos now. Not even.
Like, I would even say like average like 2.7 times a day. Like I've had days where I had 3 gelatos. And it was worth it. So now we're gonna do a quick half-a-day trip to Monaco City. We're at the train station right now. We're gonna take the train. It's around 50-minute train from Nice to Monaco, so it's super close. And Monaco City is one of the richest city-states in the world, so I have a lot of expectations, and I'm sure it's gonna be amazing. So we're taking a quick day tour. We don't have much time in Nice anymore, so we do want to go see Monaco before we leave the southern France regions. So without further ado, let's go. Living the lavish lifestyle when your taxi is a Mercedes-Benz. The famous Casino Monte Carlo.
Psych, it's not. That's a bathroom.
Ah, hilarious. If you guys recognize anyone in there, let me know. I'm very curious if I met someone important today or not. Wow, she thinks she's a celebrity. So we're finally back in Nice. This is the end of our trip. Not really. The end of our south of France trip. Tomorrow morning we have an early flight to Paris. So on that note, see you guys in Paris.